pandemic.
Did you go to film school?
No, I was a joint economics and theater major. Now, I took some film classes as part of the theater major, but only like 2 or 3. I was far more focused on theater. So I wrote plays in college. I wrote 3 plays in college. I acted in, 6, 7 plays. I directed a play or 2. So I was very immersed in theater. But as a latchkey kid growing up, who had 2 working parents, my mother was a public school teacher, my father was an accountant. My brother and I would return home from school at around 3 o'clock, 3:30 every day, and my parents would get home till 6. So 3:30 to 6 became rerun time, for the Brady Bunch, the Monkees, the Partridge Family, Beverly Hillbillies. We weren't watching the new episodes, but there would be repeats on in the afternoon. So I was very much a TV kid, and so studying playwriting got me into writing. But very quickly I segued into wanting to write for TV. But I was not a film major. I still consider myself a person of words more than a person of images. I've chosen never, at least not to this point, I've chosen never to direct. Because I always think there's somebody out there that can do it better for me than I would do for myself. I always thought I was going to direct during season 2 of The Shield. I think we held a slot open for me to direct, and then about 3-4 weeks out from doing it, I realized that I had only signed up out of ego, not that I thought it was the best thing for the show. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, I don't need to do this. And so I think I sloughed the episode onto Scott Brazil, and I've never even toyed with the idea of directing since then. So I made 3 or 4 student films in college. Once again, they're very rudimentary because of my own lack of skills at that point and because of the lack of quality equipment at the time. Editing was very laborious, and the cuts, did not look seamless and everything. But like I did a film version of a short play I'd written. I did a sort of documentary about racism at my college. I did a mock sports thing, a sort of mockumentary thing. But it was all within the scope of a liberal arts education while I was also taking, history and economics classes and everything.
I think that answers a question that a lot of folks often ask, which is, should I go to film school? Do I need to go to film school? And I think that the answer to that is, should you? More complicated question than can be answered in this context. Do you need to? That's clearly you don't necessarily.
You don't need to. It might work for some people. And certainly, what I would say is this: I wouldn't go to film school and leave with a huge student debt.
Yeah.
Not everyone is in the same circumstances, and if your parents can pay for college, good. But I also think this: studying history, studying economics, helped me to be a better writer. Having a liberal arts education as opposed to a very specific film education helped me understand the world in ways that I was able to later translate onto the TV screen, I think.
Yeah.
But every journey is different in Hollywood. And I certainly know people who did go to film school, both for undergrad and grad, who swear by it and love it. And if that's what works for them, then that's what works for them. There is no one way to succeed or to certainly fail in Hollywood.
Well, there are a lot of folks that I think could speak to all the different ways that one can fail, but that's a different conversation.
No, there's lots of ways to fail and a few ways to succeed.
Thanks for checking out Pandemic, brought to you by Roadmap Writers and Notes for Execs. I'm Joel Silberman, and if you're interested in more intimate interviews with writers on writing, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share. Thanks very much, and stay safe.